Hola. I was going to do this, but then I couldn't press the button at the same time.
Pretty much a signature for you at this point, though,
This
right?
is this one. I used to do this one, but then it got too technical for me.
Yeah, that is quite. I don't think I can do that.
What? No, you can.
I don't think I can.
No.
Like this, and then you turn it
So,
around.
yeah.
No, I can't do that. It
This
doesn't
is the
make
first, this is the first part of getting to know Joe. The first part of
sense.
getting to know Joe is that Joe can't do this. Please let us know in the comments if
It's
you
not the one.
can do that. Joe, I see we've got the link here. I'm going to share this link to my 5 a.m. club to join us. Come and join Joe and I. And I'm going to send it to my supernovas as well.
Lovely. I'm gonna do some sharing too. Hello, guys.
We have a whole bunch of people joining. I'm going to find us myself so that I can read through all the comments. Good evening and welcome for those of you that don't have load shedding. How's load shedding been there in South Africa? It's one of my things I don't miss.
Yes, it's been an absolute nightmare. It really has been a nightmare. I think we're on like stage 4 at the moment, so roughly like three times a day that power's cut for about 2 hours. It's a lot to navigate around, to be honest. You can also only go to so many coffee shops throughout the day. But they keep like going from suburb to suburb. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's like just trying to switch it. We have so many people logging in here and saying hi. If you missed right at the beginning, I told Joe that this was my signature move and that I used to do this one, and then we realized that Joe couldn't do it. Joe, can you just give us one more little try?
The last time I'm doing this, but I don't know if I'm doing it right though. It doesn't
He can't do it, which is just
doesn't
hysterical.
make sense.
Oh my goodness. We have so many people in the house. Joe, quick shout out to your Joes. What is your team?
My juggernauts. I can see a few of them are popping in, which is lovely. How's the team?
Joe's Juggernauts. I also want to make a little mention, Joe, about the leaderboard is live for Team Kravitz and Team Leclerc. It went live a little earlier. Remind us what team you're in.
I'm Team Leclerc.
I don't know if you saw, but you're losing.
I did. But I wanted to comment on the fact that you're not the most modest person. Something that you're allowed to discuss after this.
Nope. I even went on the internal team. #winning. #cream always rises to the crop. I'm just going full blown. And then someone made a comment now, and they were like, "Seri, it's only 16 behind." And I was like, "She's like, you're being a little bit." I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go full tilt."
Yeah, you don't get ahead of yourself though. I'll tell you that much.
I'm gonna have to eat all the humble pie if Team Kravitz doesn't come to the party. But I'm just going full blown obnoxious. I'm going full blown obnoxious.
I can tell you one thing. I'm getting to know me. I'm such a sore loser. Unfortunately, it's possibly one of my worst traits. Yeah, I think since a little boy, very, very competitive with board games, with sports. I don't do well with losing.
So are you the type of I hate losing, but like I can lose graciously. Are you the type of loser that like it ruins your whole day?
It ruins the moment for a little bit. Like I wouldn't say the whole day, but I mean I went to go play squash the other day as well with my partner, and if it starts going south for me, like it instantly affects my mood. It's just I don't know. I don't handle it well. And when I did lose previously, I realized I need to go restring my squash rackets, and I claim that that's the reason why I didn't play well. So I don't like losing. So on that note, be prepared because we'll definitely be boarding up some fire with Leclerc.
Okay, I'm ready. Joe, I thought we would start this with a few rapid fire questions. Now, for everyone that's at home watching, Joe doesn't know any of these questions that I'm asking him, because I thought it could be more authentic. And then we'll dive into some like deeper questions while people are logging in and saying hi. But also while I'm asking Joe the rapid fire questions, I'd love you in the comments to answer them as well. It's kind of like those this or that type of questions, like green or blue kind of thing, and then you can put your answer in. So as I ask these, it would be super cool to see everyone else's answers as well. Joe, the first one is summer or winter?
Definitely summer.
Me too. I mean, I don't know if I can trust someone who says winter.
I think it's got its advantages, but Cape Town winter is not the one for me.
No, it's like if you're in the Swiss Alps, I think you go with winter.
Yeah.
Okay, tea or coffee?
That's a toughie. Coffee, but definitely go through phases of like one or the other. I'll drink a lot of tea or I'll start going into coffee. It's like, yeah, kind of varies on time of year, I'd like to say, actually.
Interesting. Sunrise or sunset?
So definitely a sunset type boy. Fun fact, I was not an early riser for a very long time. I worked in hospitality for about 5 years. So very much night shift orientated. And I think actually doing these 6 a.m. classes in the morning has been the first time that I've had to wake up nice and early. Yeah, which has been it's been amazing as well. Like, I mean, there's so many advantages to it, but I would say sunset just because it's
You're a little happier. You've had a good part of your day. You don't have to wake up and you like this.
I don't know when I've actually watched the sunrise, to be honest with you.
Well, it's much easier. It's much easier in summer.
Do you actually sit though and watch it? Because I know we actively go sit and watch a sunset. I don't know if I've actually.
I've done a sunrise when I've done like Lion's Head, like sunrise missions, and then you like watch it. And I can remember like in my early like dating days, it used to be like, let's go and watch the sunrise together, you know, like, and then you get over it and you like sleep is way more important than this. But there's nothing better than a Lion's Head sunrise mission in winter. Highly recommend. Team Kravitz or Team Leclerc?
No, you've got that answer already. Sorry, Dave.
Books.
I'm against you. I'm against you with this one.
You are. Books or movies?
Movies.
Ooh. Do you have a favorite movie out of interest? All-time fave?
Oh, wow. I'm going to just come clean. A Cinderella Story. Hilary Duff and Jennifer Coolidge.
No,
I
rate
that movie. Like, with everything. Probably we're going to regret this, but yeah.
Is it it's the one with Hilary Duff where she's got that lady that eats the salmon the whole time?
Yeah, correct. I'd probably say that movie word for word, to be honest.
I've never ever heard anyone say that's their favorite movie in the world. That is hysterical. That just made my whole day. I'm glad that
my favorite quote comes from that movie. It goes, "Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game."
I like it.
So powerful.
I like it. There's a couple of people that say they love that movie and someone else is like, no, Joe, no. Can we go chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Ooh, hugs or kisses?
Kisses.
Oh, Samsung or iPhone?
iPhone.
Dancing or singing?
Definitely singing. I wish I could dance though, but definitely singing.
I can't either. I'm terrible at it. Wine or beer?
Used to like beer, but now onto the wine tram.
Red wine or white wine?
A combination, depending summer or winter.
Video games or board games?
Love a board game.
Me too. You just don't like losing said board game.
I mean, you and I, what do we play Wordle, which is possibly the only online game I play at the moment. Do you still play Wordle, by the way?
Still play it, Joe. I tell you a fun fact. One day I sent Joe a screenshot that I got Wordle, but I think I ruined it for him because I like gave him my answer.
100%.
Love a good game. Scrambled eggs or fried eggs?
Scrambled.
Scrambled or poached?
Poached, but I can't make it, so usually only bought at a restaurant.
Gotcha. Cats or dogs?
Oh, also toughie. Dogs.
Ooh, I like it. Fist pump for you. We have a very divided instructing team because we have some crazy cat ladies, and then we have the dog side of things. Call or text?
Love a call.
Truth or dare?
Probably truth.
Ooh, blonde or brunette?
Brunette.
Those are my rapid fire questions.
Yeah, I like those. Those are like fiery.
I quite like them. Joe, now we want to go into like some more deeper type of questions for people to get to know you. But before we do that, I wanted to make a fun announcement for those that are currently with us. In that we have a special announcement that Joe is going. He's still one-on-one coaching, so don't stress. But from Friday, Joe, you're making a move over to the dark side, and you are joining the Instructor Team, my team, our amazing team. You are joining us for a little switcheroo in that you're going to be running programs and you are going to be full-time in our instructing team. Talk to us a little bit about this.
I mean, I'm super, super excited. I think it plays so well into the strengths that I do have. I'm also someone that I thrive well in change. I think it's actually one of my strengths. So the fact that I'm actually feel like I'm actually progressively building and growing just excites me so much. So I think there's a lot that I'm going to learn from you guys, but I think there's also a lot that I'm going to be able to give relating to my own expertise. And it's been incredible being able to do it in the live workouts already, and I feel like I'm also getting to touch and communicate and speak to a much wider audience. And I think that's something that the community will get to know about me. But I'm pretty much an open book, a very empathetic person, and I love chats. So yeah, it's been really nice to just get feedback on that and kind of be able to communicate and branch out to like more members of the community than what I've been doing just with the one-on-one coaching, if that makes sense.
And it's exciting because it means that Joe's going to be running a couple programs. So we're going to be doing a couple collaborations. So you might see me and Joe together, or Joe with Dom, or Joe with Greg, or you never know what collaborations are coming. But the first collab is coming in July with Jade. For those, Joe, that haven't yet heard about the program that you guys are running, or what program you guys have actually curated, tell us a little bit about it, because people still have a chance to sign up for that one.
Okay, so very, very passionate about this, not only because it's the first one. It's called Let's Get Immunity, and it's a pure low impact based program. What's been so incredible in doing this program with Jade is obviously our lit queen at Jeff at the moment. And I've trained individuals using lit style movements, but I've never actually applied that myself. And going into this program, obviously collaborated, did a lot of research on it, and slowly started with the filming. And I realized how just effective changing up your training style and methods are for a person. And it's been just incredible to see the intensity and the strength that you can gain through low impact training. So based on the workout, it's just a pure combination of, you've got some high cardio, you've got a lot of strength. Jay definitely brought the strength side into it. And there's just a whole lot of fun and banter. I think our type of training methods, the way we've structured the sets, it's very much based in a sense that your time is used effectively, it's used efficiently, but it's going to fly past in a sense. It's not necessarily going to feel that you're working for a full 33 minutes because of the way it's been structured. Also just like nice little, we've got like some sneaky things that we've thrown in there. I can't give this away because you have to actually join the program to know what there is. But like there's just some friendly growing as individuals and some competitiveness between Jade and myself. And it's just a whole lot of fun. So definitely recommend.
I'm super excited.
We did an 8 a.m. last week, Friday. So we've actually said, if you want a little sneak peek, go have a squiz. It's still on catch up. You can still access that session. If you are in 2 minds, do that 8 a.m. session. I promise you, it's going to be just, it's going to need that confirmation that you need.
Also, I want to say that, so I struggle with my knees, like always have, because I'm a water baby and I've been in the water the whole time. And I changed up my training this past month, where I coupled 2 programs together, where I did one program that was high impact, and then I did the Pilates as a combo. And it made such a difference to my training with my body. And I think a lot of people often think that high impact is the only way that you can kind of burn energy or cardio or get cardio, which is a complete lie. But also it has been so much better for my body. My body is feeling so much more whole and less sore, because I'm able to like kind of go low impact, which is still high intensity, but takes off the bearing of the jumping, a lot of the jumping. Exactly. But then I'm still working up a super sweat and a big burner. Like I find low impact much more burning sensation than I do high impact. And so I also just wanted to say to everyone out there that's like, oh, low impact is easy. It's freaking well not easy. Yeah. It's just different. It's different for that very reason. And I highly suggest making sure that if you're doing a program, or potentially coupling 2 programs together, that you are doing at least 1 race day a week, but also that you're mixing between the high and low impact to give your body and your joints kind of a break.
Exactly. And for new starters as well, coming into Jeff and the programs, I think we also, as instructors, speak to it a lot, is relating to your form. And I've also noticed that if you are targeting low impact style training, you are a lot more aware of your form because you are mostly grounded, which is incredible.
Exactly.
So if that is something that you are struggling with initially, or training is something new to you, like it's part of that journey that you need to go on. But even on that note, it's also just so important to change up your style of training. I always think it's good to almost give your body a little bit of a shock. I mean, I go through like a few month cycles of strength training, then cardio training. So if you need something a little bit different, if you also feel that it's becoming a little bit monotonous what you're doing and you need a little bit of a spike and a bit of a change, do it. Keep it exciting. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, so we have let the community know now that Joe is joining our instructing team, which is super exciting. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of him on your screens, and we're going to be doing a lot with him, which is exciting. Joe, talk to us a little bit about your education background and like actually what you are, because it's psychology, right?
Yeah.
I
So
didn't know that.
Very passionate about it. Definitely like a big passion of mine. I did a B social science as an undergrad, like a combination of criminology, psychology, and sociology, and then majored in psychology afterwards. And I think about a year and a half ago, I completed my honors in psych. So
where did you
very
study?
much. So I did my degree in Bloem.
Ooh, can you? I was about to speak in Afrikaans and then realized I would actually butcher it.
Ja, ek kan Afrikaans praat. Nie baie goed nie, maar ek kan. Praat jy my Afrikaans?
A bicky. Someone is saying, please, sorry, I'm going back because I'm like reading these comments. Please let us know if 30-day challenge and lit with immunity could work together. Absolutely. Well, very much so. I tell you how I do it is that I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday of my high impact program. And then I do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as my low impact program, with Sundays being my rest day. So just to answer that question. Okay, let's take it back. So we studied at Bloem.
Okay, so and psychology was kind of very much all over the place for me in the sense I didn't really know what direction I wanted to go into. I have so music's also been a big love, and I'm sure we'll chat about that in a bit. But the original direction for psychology was in the musical therapy direction. Swiftly started changing and started finding a lot of interest in like 2 different fields, which was merely schizophrenia and serial killing. So it started diverting towards more of a criminology direction. Just found like a big passion there. And moving to Cape Town, I started finding this absolute love for sports and being active and just being healthy. And it started just integrating within my psychology. So I've constantly, while I'm in the process of a lot of research in holistic change, very similar to what Jeff does in a sense, but obviously the therapeutic process being more things that are stimulating like an endorphin release. So instead of like sitting and talking one-on-one, to actually be going on walks with clients, hikes, rowing, things like that. Yeah. And then looking at different forms of physical activity as their coping mechanisms. I think it's so important, and I think it relates to a lot of people. Of course, my fundamental principal aspect that I will be targeting would be self-esteem issues, and I think that relates into a lot more. It's kind of branches out into a lot of different directions, but I know 100% how being active and just like loving yourself was all about self-love. And a lot of times it's just that mere accomplishment, not necessarily like a physical change, but actually setting something out and accomplishing on a day-to-day basis, which is what being active actually is, how that affects one's self-esteem. And yeah, I'm very passionate about self-love. I think it's something that I struggle with a lot, that I still work on a daily basis. So as I'm studying, I'm learning and trying to apply, and obviously just passionate about helping. So what I learn, I just want to give and help in the process.
But Joe, while you're talking, my mind is just going like instructor Seri mind of like, okay, Joe needs to do a course straight away. You haven't run a course yet, so I'm just telling the whole community before I've even spoken to you, we're going to get Joe into a course for sure. Because just listening to you, I'm like, hell yes. Also, like speaking about exercise and psychology, I mean, having been a professional athlete for so many years, the game changer was when we started getting sports psychs, right? Because it's only a newer revelation of like bringing psychologists into sport, and how much of a difference that has played. But it makes so much sense because your mind actually controls your body, not the other way around. Like if you look at the top athletes in the
100%.
world, they all train the same amount of hours. Some might be a little bit more like talented than the one, but it all comes down to like your mental aspect. Like you look at the greats of tennis and you look at the people that perform at the highest level, it's all their big match temperament. It's how their mind can overcome their body, which is super, super interesting. So I love that this is your thing, and that you have so much background and more to share with us on this as well.
No, 100%. I think that's also something that I speak about too so often. I feel like you have to be or work on being in a positive mindset before you incorporate changes in your life. And there are so many different things that we try and apply on a day-to-day. And if you're not in a good mental state, it's so much more difficult to incorporate change. So it's just, they work, like you said, so hand in hand. It's so important to actually set time aside to focus on improving not only physically but mentally as well. It's, in my opinion, more important. So yeah, definitely have been doing some brainstorming on a course actually, in the works, in the process.
I love it. I love it. Joe, like popping over more into your personal side now, for those that don't know, Joe, you're quite an active member of the LGBTQ community. And we've been speaking quite a lot about this because it's Pride Month. And here in the US, like everywhere you go, there's been different epic festivals, and I wish I could have been in New York for that one that was just recent. But I would love to hear a little bit of your story. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I'd love to hear a little bit of your story on like essentially being gay as a male, a very attractive male, if I may say so myself. And like for you, when you started noticing that this was kind of the direction that you were and that you are, and the acceptance of that, like, has that been hard for you to accept? But you're also, when we speak, you and I, and we speak about this topic, and that I want to dive into this topic more with you. You have quite a lot of pride, excuse the pun, but there's a lot of pride. There's a lot of like complete acceptance. There's a lot of like really, really like vibrant happiness that comes off of you. Has it always been that way for you?
No, definitely not. I think it's something that takes a long time to actually accept yourself, in a sense. It's been a very interesting story. It's been an interesting journey, to say the least. I think I've definitely gotten to a point now where, like I said, once again, tying into self-love and understanding that it's also okay to be different and what really is normal in this world anymore.
Exactly right.
So I think as a young boy, I mean, it was something I was pretty much aware of since a very, very young age, and something that I had to just kind of suppress, unfortunately, just merely because of society. And I grew up in Bloem, which is a little bit more conservative, within an all boys school, which made it a little bit more difficult as well, and just a tough time. I mean, as a music kid, it's like you're already kind of put into a box and labeled. Exactly. I think, yeah, I think it had a lot of challenges. I'm so happy to actually have a talk about this. I might even do like a little ed on this as well, because I think a lot of people don't understand like exactly what it entails, because there are so many stereotypes to actually being part of the LGBTQ community, and a lot of mis-stereotypes. But I think, to put things into perspective, I just needed the closure and acceptance from my family. I think that was like the biggest barrier for me to overcome. I come from a very religious background as well, so I think that was another thing that made it a lot more difficult. But the beautiful, I'll just talk about the beautiful right now, because it's been like the most incredible like experience. I'll never forget, after I spoke to my mom and I are intertwined. If I tell you, like, she is my ride or die, that lady is my life. And we sat on the bed the one day, and she just said to me, she's like, Joe, you're moving to Cape Town. There's something you need to tell me. And I was like, Mom, I think there's something you already know. And we had like quite an intense, in-depth moment where we chatted about everything. And I explained to her what I've experienced over the past, and just the mere fact that I don't want to be a person that's going to hurt someone else just because I'm pretending to be something I'm not. And that's not fair on that person. I wasn't even taking myself into consideration, but more just looking at actually putting someone through something unnecessarily because I'm too scared to be true to myself. And at the end of that conversation, my mom just looked at me and she was like, Joe, you need to like advocate for this. Like you need to reach out to other moms that come from religious backgrounds that don't understand. And I think it is a lot more difficult when it's not necessarily your own child, because as a mom, you've got an in-depth love for your kid. And I think
100%.
as much as you don't want it, you will eventually accept it. But I think there's so much relevance and importance into just also understanding like what type of humans we are, and that we're also just normal human beings. I think it's so weird to use the word normal, but I think it's become such a norm that, and I think that's what's kind of showcased with Pride. It's like it's still quite a community that's segregated from a lot of other communities, and it's sad in retrospect because it should just be an equal space.
Yes.
But Seri, to give you just to round that off, definitely challenging. I think for anyone that's going through that, it's a challenging experience. It's challenging to accept, and I think any guidance to any parent that is possibly watching this and unsure about their own children, and I want to also put this out there, like please reach out to me if that is something that you're scared about, if it's something that you're experiencing. I'm so happy to just be a voice or a shoulder to you to reach out to. But I think the most important thing is to just try and be in an understanding space and just show love to those people. Show love to your kids if they're the ones going through it. Because, like I said, all I needed was that one form of acknowledgement and support from the person that means the most to me. And that was all I needed to just absolutely be true to myself. And like you said, I am in such a good space and I am like vouching for the gays. I love it. I have so much fun with them, and there's nothing better than being authentically you. I mean,
100%.
Imagine living in a world where you couldn't just be you. It's like it's a difficult concept to grasp. So I think it's allowed me to just fall into like these perfect places that I need to be in. So.
And Joe, you have an epic and amazing boyfriend and partner that is in the background there. And so I remember one of the first messages that I got from you that was just like you and I was when we were going to go to Goldfish. And I organized you tickets, and then you sent me a selfie of you two in your robes, being like, this man is man down, like we're not going to make it. And I was like, oh my gosh, in the robes on a normal everyday, like Friday or Saturday or whatever it is. But you just seem super happy, and I am so happy that you are living your authentic story, because it's one of the things that I advocate so much for, is that there is nothing better than being able to be your authentic self, and to be your authentic self and also not give a crap about what anyone else thinks about you, which is really difficult, especially if you are different in today's society. And so like, I am so proud of you for living your authentic truth and for being so happy, and also for being an advocate and being willing and proud to speak up about it, as it's such a big part of your life. And so I just think you're magnificent. And I want to touch on another piece of you. The last piece is the music piece. So originally I was going to have Joe sing for us, and he's like, I'm not singing tonight. I'm like, I'm at somebody else's house. I'm not singing. But he did promise that he would come live for a jam session. So we are going to, in the next few weeks, we are going to do sing-alongs with Joe as one of our segments that we're going to be bringing in, where Joe's going to jam with us. But talk about music, Joe. Like, how has that been a massive part of your life from the beginning, or also something that's been later on in life? Where have you got that love and passion from?
Just since a little boy, like loved singing. Just used to stand in front of the TV, watch idols, and jam it out. And then just joined school choirs from a young age. Went into like a cappella singing on a later stage, like varsity level, and it's been like the release that I've needed throughout my entire life. I think we all have different ways of coping, and I think that has been like an absolute saving grace for me throughout my upbringing and just things that I've actually experienced. So yeah, at the moment I'm part of a band, so I'm actually definitely gonna I'll definitely go live sometime with a band and have a lovely little jam session that you guys hear in on sneak little peeks to it. But I think if that answers your question, Seri, like music has just honestly been like my escape, but in such a healthy, beautiful way. And yeah, when I told you I worked in hospitality, I worked at a theatrical diner for about 5 years as well. So
Did you
very
ever do?
much,
Did you ever do Stardust?
that's where I worked for 5
No
years.
ways.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
No, so much fun. It's like there's such a thrilling feeling in actually just like being able to like blurt out emotions like through song. And I think that's also just been like such a passion, is to have people relate through music. So very much like a ballad type singer. The music that I write as well is quite sad. I think a lot of music I listen to is possibly a little bit sad as well, but I do relate a lot to lyrics, and I relate a lot to emotions. So yeah,
So,
it's
Joe,
like
what's your band's name?
Seri. We don't have a name at the moment because we
What?
are quite new. Yeah, I mean we got together as a bunch of mates and we've just started like writing and doing covers. So I think like band name is possibly in the loops once we have like full repertoire and we're
Gotcha,
set to
gotcha,
actually
gotcha.
go and perform. Yeah.
Okay, and then to like finish off on the music scene, like who are some of your favorite artists or some of your favorite bands or some of your favorite groups?
Oof, there's a lot. I'd have to say like I'm a big to take it a little bit like old school. I love like a little bit of Queen. I love a little bit of Michael Jackson. I think his music is incredible. Amy Winehouse is an incredible performer. If we're going a little bit more recent, just like the classics, Adele, love her.
Love a little bit of Adele.
Callum Scott is like possibly one of my like favorite singers at the moment. James Arthur, Louis Capaldi. I could honestly go on for ages. Anyone that's going to make me possibly cry, all about all about their jams.
Oh my gosh. There are some hilarious band names. Joe and the Jeffs. There's some really there are some really funny band names here. If you want to shoot Joe some band names, please do, because Kerry, that was hysterical. That's a supernova right there. But Joe, it's this is just like the tip of the iceberg of getting to know you a little bit better. And we wanted to do this to let the community know that you're going to be part of our instructing team. They're going to be seeing you live a whole lot more. They're going to be seeing you in courses. They're going to be seeing you in all different facets of Jeff. But it is so awesome to get to know just a little bit more about you. But I do have so many more follow-up questions. And so I feel like this is just the start of the Get to Know Joe series.
Yes, please. The start of something new. Thanks, Siri. I mean, it's honestly, it's just incredible to work with someone like you and with the individuals we do work with, and to have such an amazing supportive community. I'd possibly just like to, while we're on here, and there's still a couple of you watching, I went through quite a difficult time 2 weeks ago, and I've been wanting to come live and just honestly, from the bottom of my heart, reach out to those of you that have been there, those of you that have been supporting in the dark and from the sidelines, for just all the support, love, and kindness you have shown me. I think I spoke to Jono about it the other day as well. It's so overwhelmingly beautiful to know that there are so many individuals that understand and that are kind. You don't find a lot of kind-hearted people in this world anymore. So to be part of a community that is filled with people like that, and you can see it within what is happening on our Facebook pages, in our workouts, in our lives, just like-minded people that are supporting each other, and we need to take such advantage of it and just thrive off of it.
And it's very rare, right? Like I was saying this today I went for a run. I needed to like clear my brain, and I was voice noting while I was running, and I was speaking to one of my best friends, and I was telling her that this community is also so special because it's filled with a whole bunch of different people that are different races, that are different ethnic backgrounds, that have different religions, that have different beliefs, that have different like identities when it comes to sexual orientation. Like there's so many different people within our community, but one thing remains true, is that there's just so much love and so much acceptance, and that it's all about like being healthy together in positivity, like, and it's been such a joy in a lot of dark places. And I think it also speaks a lot to you and your character and your testament, especially with the community and with your one-on-one clients, to be able to also, I sometimes feel like as coaches or as instructors, or sometimes we have to always feel like it's okay we have to be okay. And I've realized over these 2.5 years that actually people are able to resonate with us even more when we're honest about when we're not okay, and that it's okay to be honest. I sent a message to my one-on-one clients today and I said, I've had an absolute terrible day. Like, it's been awful. I'm so sorry I haven't contacted you all. I'm just running at 100 miles and I'm just not in a good space. And the love was like, don't worry about us. Like, you can chat to us tomorrow. Like, look after you. Like, it's just, everyone is the same. We're all human beings. We all have the same struggles. And so also thank you to you for being willing to be open and honest about all the facets of your life, and that some days are not good, and that there's a community that's going to rally behind you. And we already just love you to bits.
Oh, thank you. I love you, and I love you guys too. This has been epic.
Joe, I do want to challenge you to spend a little bit of time either tonight or tomorrow morning reading through some of these comments, because a couple of moms reached out, sent comments saying that their daughter or their son is gay, and she's known from the beginning, and she's very proud of who she is, and she's celebrating Pride Month. There's a couple of comments there, but there's also comments of people that have commented on your psychology degree and on some band names, and a lot of love being thrown your way. So be sure to go and have a look through the comments. But thank you for coming on live, for being willing to come into our crazy instructing team, and I can't wait for more fun together.
I'm super excited. Thank you guys for joining in. Thank you, Seri, for having a dope interview. Definitely will do more of these. Team, I'm an open book. So any questions, like I said, if you guys need any support, please reach out, and I will be there to assist with everything inside of me. I'll tell you that much.
Joe, there's another comment here that's saying they're still waiting for your partner to join you on a live workout. So Matt, if you're listening there in the background, we're waiting.
I thought he was going to put his earphones and he may not listen to me speak. but I will play the recording of exactly that part. I am getting him involved in the live workouts. He just does not know it yet.
You all have to do it. We all have, yeah, it has to happen. Joe, you have to do Toodaloo with me. Are you ready?
Always.
Team, we love you. We'll see you again in the morning for some live classes. We are saying Toodaloo.